What's going on, everyone? It's me, Thirsty Pancakes. Hey, how's it going? We're talking about the Apex legend herself, Ashe. In this video, we're going to go over some of her abilities and how you may want to use them in-game. Let's go. Now, Ashe is one of the more interesting characters to ever have joined the games. She's a 121-year-old simulacrum, and she has a fractured and split personality between the cold robotic killer that you see and her former self, Dr. Ashley Reed, or Lay. In any case, her split personality will give you some pretty interesting dialogue in-game, and between that and her very dynamic toolkit, she's a great character to play. But before we get into some of the gameplay and those examples, let's hop into the firing range and take a look at some of her abilities. Ashe's tactical ability is Arc Snare, which is a thrown projectile that will do a little bit of damage and also capture or tether the first enemy in its area of effect. And I do say the first enemy because if 2 enemies or 3 enemies are pushing you, you're only going to be able to tether one, and so you are not going to be able to completely stop that push. Her tactical also moves at a fairly low rate of speed, especially when compared to Fuse's Knuckle Cluster or even a Bangalore Smoke, so you're really going to have to work on your timing in order to make your plays in-game. Now, once you actually capture an enemy with the Arc Snare, they're going to have a tough time breaking that area of effect and trying to escape and get out, but it's really important to note that within that area of effect, within that tether, they're going to be able to move at full speed. Ashe's ultimate ability is called Phase Breach, and it will allow you to open up a one-way portal, a one-way breach, to the location of your choosing. And, well, if you're anything like me, also to a location that you probably didn't choose, but I digress. It's a very flexible ability. You can use it to go after a flank and try to put pressure on an enemy squad, or you can also use it in an oh shit moment when you really need to get away. In any case, it is virtually an instant teleport, and the risk and reward is yours to take. Ashe's passive ability is called Marked for Death, and it's a really interesting ability with 2 parts. The first will allow you to see where a recent death box has appeared on the map. It doesn't matter whether you or someone on your squad has made the kill, or an enemy team. The ability can improve the flow of your game and help you find other enemy squads to third party, or if you just want to get into a scrap a little bit faster, follow the icons on your map, and you're probably going to find someone. Now, when you get to a death box, you'll be prompted to mark enemies, and that's going to give you the exact location of any surviving attackers in that moment of time. Alright, we've taken a look at the abilities, now let's check them out in-game. Now we're chasing a team in Storm here, and I'm able to use the Arc Snare to hold this Octane in place while our Fuse cleans things up with their ultimate. After that, we're able to use the Phase Breach in order to get a good flanking position and really put pressure on the rest of the team here. Even if you don't successfully make a tether, sometimes it's just enough to prevent an enemy squad from pushing while you work on a res or reset. In this example, we're able to use the Arc Snare in order to hold someone behind cover, and our teammate decides to combo it with an Arc Star. Ashe's ultimate is quite powerful, but it can be costly when used incorrectly. I absolutely would have lost this exchange if I wasn't with a good team who immediately backed me up. This is a much better use of Ashe's ultimate. I'm able to get the high ground on this Revenant for a fast flank and an easy kill. And as I mentioned earlier, not every exchange is going to go your way, and Ashe's ultimate can be used both offensively and defensively. I'm able to break line of sight here and quickly get away to reset. I also want to mention that Ashe's ultimate is not a get out of jail free card. Because it requires a line of sight, you need to place it somewhere near cover in order to execute your escape. I found that I got the most amount of utility from her ultimate when using it to back up a teammate or catch an enemy off guard with another angle of attack. The arc snare can also be tricky if you're not on top of your timing. I lose my advantage with this Octane because I throw the tactical too late and I'm stuck in a landing animation. Again, this is a better use of the ability because we're able to hold the door and focus on one opponent at a time. It's also worth mentioning that her tactical can and will take you out if you're low health. Most of the time you'll be using Marked for Death to help find enemies that may have rotated ahead of you, but it can also be used aggressively during the middle of an engagement or during a third party. Well, that's going to do it for this video in terms of tips and tricks. I had a lot of fun playing Ashe, and I think you will too. There's definitely a lot more things that Ashe brings to the game than what I featured here, so drop a comment below and, well, let everyone know what your experience with Ashe has been and how you use her in-game. If you like what you see, if you appreciate the content, be sure to like this video and drop a comment. You know, just the things, you know what to do. Yeah, well, that's gonna be it for me. Pancake out.